Hello, everyone. Welcome to Goodnight Meditation. So, today we will be experimenting with mastermind. Now, with spiritual wisdom, we have learned um, that the master of the mind is the soul, this point of light, who's the living, conscient being. And the more we come into the awareness that just like there are sense organs, the five sense organs, the sense of touch and smell and sight and um, smell and etc., we also have subtle senses, which includes the mind. And right now, our most of our life is governed by some sense perception. So it could be with the physical sense organs, which I just mentioned, or it could be with the subtle sense organs. And particularly with the mind, we observe that as if um, the mind dictates what happens to us, the way we feel, the what we think, the way we behave. And many times you observe for ourselves that in spite of not wanting to think in a certain way, or not wanting to really behave in a certain way, we still end up doing what we don't want to do. And then we say that the mind went out of control. So, what is the solution to this? And it's a very easy practice which we are going to experiment with today, where we just become aware who the real master of the mind is. So, mind, like we mentioned, is a subtle faculty of the soul. So, the more we think of the soul as being uh, the master or in charge, then we see that mind starts to slowly fall in line. The more we are not aware that, the soul is in charge and we just let the mind run on its own, then as if the mind becomes in charge. So to know about the soul, to know that the soul is the master, really helps us um, make the mind fall in line, right? So we will do some simple experiment today, and it would be great to hear from you in comments also, um, if you have any questions or anything like that. So let us begin with this experiment where we choose a comfortable posture for the body, and as we choose this posture, we relax the body. We take a moment to just withdraw our attention from everything that is around us. And we come into the awareness of that living, conscient being of light. That conscient being of light is just like a driver of a car. And so we begin with the life of this driver, the soul, who looks like a point of light, in his home. The soul, the point of light, belongs to a world that is beyond the life of the car. The life of the car is very separate, completely separate from the home of the driver. This driver, the soul, belongs to a world that is a world of light. A world where there is immortality. A world that is changeless. A world of silence. This eternal, imperishable world of the driver, the soul, who looks like a point of light. Exists forever, and this world is where he belongs. He feels very comfortable in this world. This is his true home that is subtle and invisible. And just like the driver is aware that he is using the car for a short period of time, in the same way, the soul, who looks like a tiny point of light, knows that he is traveling from the home to this physical world and driving, in my case, the car or the vehicle called Kanupriya. The body of Kanupriya is like a vehicle that this point of light is driving. And just like the driver decides whether the car will go left or right or reverse, everything that is happening with the car is decided by the driver, not the engine, not the wheels or the steering wheel. The driver decides everything about the car. In the same way, the soul who's aware of his reality is also aware that he's in charge of the mind. He's in charge of the car. And so it is up to the soul to decide where he wants to focus his thoughts on. And the mind will cooperate when you give it an aim. So we aim to spend the next few minutes in exploring the wonder of the world beyond, the original experience of the driver in his spiritual home, where everybody is just like a point of light. There is a family of stars that this driver, the point of light, belongs to. And the family is like brothers who are all noble, all loving, the highest. We come into that experience of perfection and fullness. Because the driver in his home, the soul in his spiritual home is full. He does not need anything, does not lack anything. That is the original experience. He is a being of peace. He is a being full of love. Not needing anything from the world of the car. He's full in his own home. And this world is magnificent in that vast expanse of silence. The driver can truly experience timelessness. Point of light. And we continue with this practice of giving the mind an aim for every few minutes. Few minutes in every hour, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, every hour. Give it an aim to come into the original experience. And we see how the car, the mind, the engine starts to stabilize itself in this experience. Starts to follow the instructions of the driver. the more we stabilize in the experience of the home, we see that we become more calm, peaceful, loving with others, happy. Just remembering who the master of the mind is and stabilizing our attention towards the life of the master, the soul. Om Shanti. Thank you. Have a very good evening and we'll meet again soon.